Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. The topic for this pick a card reading is what are my career predictions for the next 5 years? And this reading will be a little bit different as I'll shuffle the cards and pick them in front of you. So to pick your pile, you're going to use a crystal. So for pile number 1, you have this beautiful crystal. For pile number 2, this is your crystal. For pile number 3, this is your crystal. And for pile number 4, this is your crystal. So you may pause the video and take a little bit of time to choose which crystal you feel most drawn to. And I will post the timestamps both in the description box and in the comment section. So now we will move on to crystal number 1. Alright, hello pile number 1, this reading is for you. So how I'm going to do this reading is I'm going to first do, the first line will be your career in the next year, then the next line will be your career in the next 3 years, and the final line will be your career in 5 years time, and then I will take out 2 oracle cards to just help the reading. So let's start with your career in 1 year's time. What energy does that hold for you? All right, so this is too many cards. Let me just take a few of them, see what comes out. Okay. All right. Let's go for your career in 3 years' time. And your career in 5 years' time. All right. So the world, the Empress, Hierophant. Okay. Okay, so let me just show you your cards. So in 1 year's time, you have the Page of Swords in reverse and the King of Cups. In 3 years' time, you have the 7 of Cups and the 6 of Swords. So let's just explain these 2 first. So the Page of Swords is somebody who embodies honesty, truth. She is this woman who is not afraid to scrutinize her beliefs and her logic. Like her mind is very agile and analytical. However, you got this card in reverse. So in the next year, I do see you struggling with, going in depth and wondering what are your true beliefs. Your logic isn't necessarily dominating you, it's more your feelings, and you're not that analytical in a year's time. All right, and the next card you got was the King of Cups. And the King of Cups speaks of somebody who is wise and understanding. He knows the meaning of patience. He cares and protects and watches over everything that is dear to him. So in a year's time, I see you in this very emotional energy. It's not a bad thing. Perhaps you're kind of new in your career or in your business, and instead of being in this very logical way of mind, you're more in your feelings and your thoughts, and you're very patient. So it's not a bad thing to be in a year's time. But let's see where you'll be in 3 years' time. Let's start with this 7 of Cups. So the Seven of Cups speaks about indulging in fantasies. Like, you have a lot of options to choose from. You have many paths to go, and you have these overwhelming desires and unlimited possibilities, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to indulge in your fantasies, and it's showing that in 3 years' time you're going to have so many opportunities coming your way that you'll wonder, which one should I take? Like, you can see this guy, he's wondering if he should go that way or go this way. Like, there's so many mountains for him to climb, and he can reach all of them, and there's there's unlimited possibilities that you can go through in 3 years' time. So there is a slight energy that this might be a little bit daunting and a little bit, you might feel tired that you have so many possibilities to choose from, but it's a very good card to get. Okay, and then your next card you have is the Six of Swords. Alright, so the Six of Swords means you're escaping difficulties and you're recovering from your difficulties. So what I see is perhaps in the past, so this is 3 years from now, so perhaps in the past 3 years you had many difficulties getting to where you're getting. But now those difficulties are over and you're just recovering. So you can see here, there's these swords. But the swords aren't facing you, they're facing down, which means there's no problems pointing at you. And you can see this woman, she's rested and she's moving swiftly. So along with these paths that I'm speaking about that you'll have, like these opportunities, and you'll have many opportunities to choose from, you'll also move in a very peaceful manner. Like, it won't be that difficult, and you'll find yourself just going through all your opportunities in 3 years' time in a very gracious and a very restful way, which is great. Your opportunities, they won't be stressful. You'll move through doing whatever you want to do in a very peaceful, happy state. All right, so now let's move on to year number 5. What's happening with you? So let's look at your cards. I'm just going to move these up here. All right, so you have the Hierophant, you have the Empress, you have the World, and you have Death in reverse. So these are all major arcana cards, and when I get major arcana cards, it speaks about something really big happening in your life. So let's start with the Hierophant card, okay? So the Hierophant is somebody who is very traditional, and he believes in rituals and ceremonies, and he always emphasizes the importance of knowledge and finding a deeper meaning. And he has a very strong belief system, and he's this teacher who unravels these mysteries. All right, so in 5 years' time, I see you as somebody who, in your business or in your career, you've kind of set rituals for yourself, and these rituals work. They're, because you're in a good place. And I see you as somebody that people see as a teacher, or as somebody that they can go to for help. In this deck specifically, it speaks about secrets. So, the roots are entangled around secrets and traditions. And, these secrets that you have is what makes you successful in your career in 5 years' time. And they're your secrets because they're your experience. You've been through so much in these 5 years, perhaps with customers, with colleagues, and you've learned the tricks of your trade. You know what it takes to get there. You have a secret formula that brings you success, but it's your secret formula. It's your secret to success, and you hold that very deeply to yourself, and this is what helps you get success throughout these years. So like in the first year, you were very in your emotions. a lot, you weren't that logical. Then in year 3, or at the end of year 3, your paths start becoming easier. And in 5 years' time, you've kind of learned the tricks of the trade, and you know what it takes to be successful in whatever you're doing in your career or in your business. Okay, so let's go from the back. The next card is the Empress. So the Empress, she's all about creativity, generosity, patience, love. She's about abundance and experiencing the senses and embracing the natural. She's like deeply tied to nature. So what I see is you nurturing your career through these 5 years, and you've reached a place where you're in the state of abundance. Like you can see, these butterflies represent like this happiness that you're in, and you can see the flowers and everything show that you're in a very good place. The Empress also speaks of love. So in 5 years' time, in terms of your career, you'll love what you're doing. You're a very nurturing person, and people are going to see you that way. I also see you as somebody who's perhaps very giving. So perhaps you're doing a lot of charity work in 5 years' time. But yeah, I see you in this very happy place where you're nurturing your career and your life in general. All right, the next card is the World. And this World card, it speaks about satisfaction and peace of mind, a successful conclusion. So I see with a successful conclusion, you're concluding your deals and your customers. You're having successful contracts with them. You're achieving balance. You're bringing things together. So the World card, I love this card so much in this reading, because the World card is a card of realized goals and prosperity. It's a state of completion. So whatever you put, like right now, if you wrote your goals for the next 5 years, I see you as you've realized these goals, and these goals have been completed, and you're in this happy state. You're in this balanced state. It's a very happy card to get in a career reading. And now we will move on to Death in reverse. So Death in the upright position in this tarot deck, it speaks about going through transitions and changing status, getting rid of the old, coming in with the new. The phoenix is all about shedding its skin and coming back stronger. The old is burnt away to make place for the new. So the old phoenix has to be burnt to come away with the new. But the Death card is a very strong card. It's like a sudden event that happens that makes you, go through these changes where you have to burn the old and come with the new. However, in your case, it's in the reverse position. So for me, this is just telling me it's a gradual thing. So, you'll move through your life slowly removing the old and going with the new. So like you will remove habits that don't work for you, and you'll introduce new things that work for you. It's not like this hectic thing that happens to you or this traumatic event that makes your life difficult. It's more like you realizing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You're, along with the Hierophant, the Hierophant is a very aware person. So you don't mind going internally and taking a look at yourself and saying, this is what works for me, this is not what works for me. So in 5 years' time, I see you in a very good place in your career. Okay, so I feel like, let me just get some oracle cards for you and see what affirmations or what the universe has to say regarding your career. Let's just see if we can get 2 cards from this deck. So, advice on this 5-year journey. Okay, so you have, I am unapologetic about what I desire, and I trust that what I focus on will grow. So yeah, this is beautiful. I was speaking about in 5 years about, how the Empress is about, nurturing what you want and it will come to fruition. And the World is about realize goals, your goals coming to pass. So literally, this is the universe or God or whatever you believe in telling you that focus on what you want and have trust that it will come to pass, and it will come to pass. Okay, let's get another card for you. Okay. I'm just going to take the first one that fell. So it says, in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So for me, with contemplation and stillness, this is telling me meditation. So perhaps you need to take time to meditate and, to just sit down, and even contemplation by, sitting down and saying what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and prayer, whatever religion, whatever faith you are, take time to pray, and your goals will come to pass in the next 5 years. So pile number 1, I hope this reading resonated with you. I thought that it was a very beautiful reading, and if it does resonate with you, please leave me a like and comment and subscribe. I will now move on to the reading for pile number 2. Hello to pile number 2. If you chose this crystal, this reading is for you. So I'm going to do a reading by year 1, year 3, year 5, okay? And then I will take 2 oracle cards for you as well. So that's for year 1. Let's see. Okay, year 1. Okay, too many cards. I just want one more card. Year number 1, what happens for pile number 2 in year number 1? Okay. Year number 3 for pile number 2. Year number 3 for pile number 2. Year 3 for pile number 2 in their career. Year 3, okay. I'll take this one. Okay. And then year 5 for pile number 2. Year 5 for pile number 2. Let's get another 2 or 3 cards for year 5. And one more card for year 5. Okay, I'll take them both. There were 3 cards that came out, so we will take all of them, it's fine. Alright, so let's start with year number 1 and year number 3, and then we'll do those cards at the top last. So for year number 1, you have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And for year 3, you have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Wands. So let's interpret year one with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Alright, so in the upright position, the Seven of Pentacles speaks about you trying to make a choice. Should you eat your fruit now or should you let them ripen? And it's about reaping the rewards for effort and work. And it speaks about having to consider alternatives and different approaches. However, in your case, it's in the reverse position. So that tells me that you're not looking at different approaches and alternatives in a year's time. You're kind of stuck on one path and you're like, I'm only going this path. This is my only option. You're not thinking of other choices to make. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's just showing that you've set a path in mind and you're only going that path. That's all you're focused on. It's not a bad thing, okay? It's just your energy in a year's time. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So the Wheel of Fortune, it's the Wheel of Fortune in this deck, in the upright position. It speaks about destiny. It speaks about fate and cycles and karma. And you know, the knot in the work, like the stained glass window is just moving according to fate. However, it's in the reverse position. So this is telling me like you don't give a damn what fate tells you. You don't give a damn what karma tells you. Like you could have been told that you have the worst luck or that you have bad karma or that, you know, your destiny is bad, but you don't care about it. And karma, destiny, patterns, cycles, they have no effect on you at all because it's in the upright position. Like we spoke about how you're not looking at alternative paths and you're not looking about should I eat, should I do this, should I take my fruit, should I take this fruit or this fruit or this fruit. You're got your path and you're just moving on your path. You're focused on your path and you don't give any care about what anybody said your fate is. You know what you want and you're going out to achieve it. And that's what I see for you in a year's time. Let's move on to 3 years or at the end of 3 years. Let's start with this card. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So the Six of Pentacles in the upright position, it speaks about being dependent on those who have and those who have not. It's like who holds the power, but you know, it's about respecting those in power and like trying, you know, to be a benefactor, and depending on those kinds of people. But since it's in the reverse position, I see you in 3 years not depending on anybody else, and you're not switching through the haves and the haves not. You're focused on you and you're not focusing on anybody else but yourself. You don't care who holds the power, who's in a big position. Are you in a big position? You know, you don't care about that. You're just focused on your goal in 3 years' time. Okay, and then the next card you got was the Nine of Wands. So this card speaks about keeping strength in no matter what happens. It's about being prepared for anything that may come your way and retaining your power and having this big inner strength, this inner power and vigilance to protect yourself and your goals. So I see you like you're focused on what you want in both year 1 and year 3. You're just like, you have this sense of inner power and you're just holding on so tight to your goals. All right, so that's year 1 and year 3. Let's see what year 5 has for you. Okay, so the cards that came out for you for year 5 was the Magician, the Queen of Swords, the Fool, the Lovers, the Four of Cups in reverse, and Death in reverse. Alright, so the Magician. The Magician card, it speaks about manifesting your dreams and your desires. It speaks about using the law of attraction to achieve what you want in your life. And I see you as somebody who has this power to achieve anything you want, and you're realizing the power you have in the 5th year, or you're finally manifesting the dreams that you wanted, and you're where you want to be. This is like the successful use of the law of attraction, of manifesting, of prayer, of meditation, to get to where you want to be. Alright, the next card is the Queen of Swords. This queen is somebody who is honest and has inner knowledge. She has like this seeker's into the world. Like she knows what's going on. She's very observant. She's valued for her accurate perceptions of the world around her and for her experiences. So this is telling me you're a very logical person and you see things for what they are. You're very good at knowing, you just know what's going to happen. You're able to tell what are people's true intentions. You're able to tell whether you'll get this deal or not. You're able to know whether to take this option, not to take this option. You know what to do. You're very observant, and you just have this inner knowledge and this intuition, and you know what's going to work and what's not going to work, not only for yourself but for those around you, and people respect you for that. Okay, then you have the Fool. And the Fool speaks about new beginnings and adventures. It speaks about passion. It speaks about rushing ahead and just going forth with your dreams. You're obeying your instincts, and there's unlimited possibilities for you. So you're in this energy where you've reached a very good place, and now you're really passionate about what you're doing, and you have these opportunities, and you're just running at your opportunities, enjoying every little second of it. The Lovers. Okay, so the Lovers could literally speak about, being in love and marriage and those kinds of things. But since this is a career reading, for me, it's talking about union, balance, energy, flow, desire, passion. It speaks about, you're balanced. In your career, you have this deep love for what you're doing and this deep passion, and you have this desire to just move your career forward, and the energy in your career is very beautiful. And that's what the Lover speaks about in this reading. You then have the Four of Cups in reverse. So in the upright position, the Four of Cups speaks about self-absorption. You're sinking deeply into concerns, and you're being lost into your problems, and awareness kind of fades away. The world is this boring, unhappy place. However, it's in the reverse position, which is telling me that you're in this good place. You have this great awareness. The world is great. You're not self-absorbed. You're in the state of just enjoying life and enjoying the energy. And although you are in introspection, you're not stuck. You're not stuck in your concerns. You know that you'll solve them. And then the last card you have is Death in reverse. So this card just speaks about getting rid of things that don't work for you and bringing in things that do work for you. So in this deck, Death is a phoenix, and a phoenix has to burn itself to be born stronger. But it's in the reverse position, which means it's just a slower process. So you're in a slow process of removing bad habits, adding good habits. So that's what it speaks about, and that's where you're going to be in 5 years' time. So this is, again, another beautiful reading. And let's see, let's try to get 1 or 2 cards for advice. one card. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So this is telling me that when you love what you're doing, you're enjoying yourself and you're enjoying your career. So it's just saying, like, focus on what you love, like follow your passion in your career. And you know, that's your inner light. Your inner light speaks about what you love most. And since it's a career reading, when you're doing what you're passionate about, you'll see the world in a much better way. Let's get one more card. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Yeah, totally. So if you're doing good on the inside, your outer world's going to be good as well. So it speaks about, you know, manifesting your desires by being in a state of goodness, knowing that you're doing well, and that's the only way your dreams will come to fruition. So for pile number 2, this was your reading. I hope it resonated with you, and if it did, please like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me. And I will now move on to the reading for pile number 3. Hello, pile number 3. This reading is for you. If you chose this crystal, then here is your reading. So how I'm going to do this reading is the bottom line will be your career in a year's time. The second line will be your career in 3 years' time, or at the end of 3 years. And then the top line will be in 5 years' time. And after that, I'll take two or three oracle cards for you. So your career in 1 year's time. What does pile number 3's career look like in a year's time? Okay, let's see. You have the 6 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. What does your career look like in 3 years' time? Okay. And now let's try to get some cards for year number 5. Alright, so these are your cards. Let's start with year number 1 and year number 3, and then we'll do year number 5 after these two. So the first card you got for year 3 is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is somebody who has a very good intuition and somebody who follows her heart. You know, she's led by her impulsiveness and her instinct. So in a year's time, I see you moving through your career based on your instincts, and I see you as a very impulsive person. Okay? Then you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is usually very good with money and material things. She's very wealthy. But since this card for you is in reverse, I see you as perhaps struggling to budget and struggling with your money. And that's because of this Queen of Cups. You're in this energy. So perhaps your impulsiveness is causing you just to spend your money in a very impulsive way. Like, you're not really thinking ahead for the future. You're not thinking about saving. You're just like, I need to spend this money to get this client, or I need to spend this money for this, but you're not holding onto your wealth, is what I see in a year's time. And then you have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords speaks about moving out of troubled times and moving through your life in a very relaxed way. So this is telling me that you're not going to be in any financial stress. Since you see, look how relaxed this woman is. She's just like passing by on the swan, and the swords are pointed down. She's moving through life very comfortably. So this is telling me that although you won't be having a lot of money in a year's time, you're going to be in a very good place because you're relaxed. You're good. Okay. Let's move on to year 3. So for year 3, you have the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So the Eight of Pentacles, this speaks about work, like hard work. Like, look at that spider and look at how that spider is working on its web. Like, it is working and it is making its web. It's like you're making plans, you're working at your plans, you're literally making the web to be successful. That's what Eight of Pentacles speaks about. You're working yourself off. Okay? And then you have the Page of Wands in reverse. So in the upright position, the Page of Wands speaks about creativity and passion and kind of just, but I see it in the reverse position. So this is telling me like you don't really care about, being super creative right now. In 3 years' time, you're focused on just building and building and building and making sure everything falls into place. Okay, that's not a bad thing. Year 5, let's move on to year 5. Okay, so the cards you got for year 5 was the Two of Cups, Death in reverse, the Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Two of Cups, it speaks about partnerships, it speaks about contracts. So this is just telling me that in 5 years' time, you're going to have a lot of partnerships, a lot of contracts, a lot of successful business partners or business ventures. Okay? Then you have Death in reverse. All pals so far have gotten this card, and it just speaks about removing things that don't work for you and adding things that do work for you. So a phoenix always has to burn and it has to die to come back stronger, but it's in the reverse position, which is telling me that you're slowly getting rid of things that don't work for you and you're adding things that do, getting rid of your bad habits, adding your good habits. Okay, then the Queen of Swords, but in reverse. So the Queen of Swords is somebody who's very observant. She's very, she knows what's happening and she's very good at foresight. But since it's in reverse, it's telling me that you're not necessarily observing what's going to happen in the future, and you're not focusing on that. You're focusing on right now. What do I need to do right now? And it shows you kind of just being in your vibe and enjoying yourself. You're not really observing everything else. That's not necessarily a bad thing either. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles, it speaks about possibility for prosperity, abundance, and security. It speaks about promises of wealth, well-being, flourishing, and reaping the rewards of hard work. So this is telling me that you know in year 3, where you were working super hard, you are now reaping the rewards and you're in this abundance. Like, look how big that coin is. Like, you've got some money, and you're getting that prosperity and that abundance from your hard work finally in year 5, excuse me. So let's get some oracle cards and see what they have in store for you. So 1 or 2, just some advice from the universe. I am the loving energy of the universe. Okay, so this is, this speaks about manifestation. So when you are in a state of meditativeness, a state of understanding, you know, that we are all one, and when you're loving what you're doing, you're manifesting your dreams. All right. Okay, I'll take this one. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Yeah, so it speaks about this again, like when you're passionate about what you do and when you're loving what you do, you're going to see that things just happen for you. You know, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, it has your back. And whether you know it or not, it's supporting your dreams. So pile number 3, this was your reading. I really do hope that it resonated with you. If it did, please like, comment and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video. I will now move on to the reading for pile number 4. Hello to the people who chose pile number 4. If you chose this crystal, this reading is for you. So how this is going to work out is the first line will be your career in a year's time. The second line will be your career in 3 years' time, and then the last line at the top will be your career in 5 years' time, and then I'll take out 2 oracle cards to just help you. So let's start. What is going to happen in pile number 4 in a year's time regarding their career? Pile number 4 in a year's time, okay? You have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. Oh, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, okay? In year 3, what's happening? Okay, there's a card that came here. The High Priestess, okay? In year 3 for pile number 4. Year 3 for pile number 4. We'll get to the cards in a few seconds. Let's just finish with year 5. Year 5 for pile number 4. What is happening in year 5 for pile number 4? Year 5 for pile number 4 in their career. Year 5 for pile number 4. Year 5 for pile number 4. Okay, I can't take all of them. Let's just take the first one that fell out. Okay. Let's try to get 2 more cards at least. 2 or 3 more cards for pile number 4 in year 5. Pile number 4 in year 5. Pile number 4 in year 5. What's happening to pile number 4 in year 5? I don't know why pile number 4 is taking so long to come out, but it's okay, we'll get your cards. All right, there, we got them. All right, so let's just written them out. So let's start with year 1 and year 3. So in year 1, you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So in the upright position, the Knight of Pentacles speaks about somebody who knows exactly what he wants. He knows exactly where he wants to go. And he's going at that goal with like all his force. okay, but you got it in the reverse position, which is telling me in a year's time perhaps you're unsure about what you really want, or you know what you want but you're not going towards your goal with all your strength and all your power. You're kind of just going at it. And then you got the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands speaks about change and progression towards a goal. Okay, so perhaps in a year's time, we are talking that you're not going at your goal as fast as you would like to, or you're not sure what you want. Perhaps you found a new direction, or your goal has slightly changed in a year's time, and that's why there's this change in progression towards your goal. Okay, let's go for year 3. In year 3, you have the High Priestess. So this card is all about wisdom, knowledge, learning, intuition, virtue. And if you look at the card, you can see the High Priestess. She lifts her arms out, and in this gesture, she's kind of open to learning. She's open to knowledge. She's just trying to learn as much as she can. And if you look there, you have the owl, and the owl is the symbol for the keeper of knowledge, and he bears the keys to unlock all the secrets and mysteries. And if you look there, there's the pomegranate, and the pomegranate there is the symbol for it's the fruit of fertility. So this is just like saying that in year 3, you're just trying to get as much knowledge and learning as much as you can, and you're gaining a lot of wisdom, and you're just learning and learning and learning whatever it takes to get you to your goal. All right, and then you have the 5 of Cups, in reverse. Now the 5 of Cups in the upright position, you can see it's this woman, and look at the cups here, the cups that have fallen, and she's kind of like wallowing in sadness about the cups that have fallen. It's kind of like the saying, crying over spilt milk. But for you got it in the reverse position, so that's telling me like you don't care about what has happened to you, whatever bad has happened to you, whatever people have done to you, or whatever sorrows that came across in your life. Like you don't care about them. You're not just being sad for the sake of being sad. You're just learning, and you're trying to move forward. Okay, and then Justice. Okay, Justice speaks about balance, harmony, relying on the logical mind, objective ruling, and adjusting what needs reassessment. However, you got in the reverse position. So this is telling me perhaps in 3 years' time your life won't be that balanced, because of you're in the state of just learning, and I feel like all you focused on is just learning and getting that wisdom that will move you forward. And that's why your life is unbalanced. And I also feel like with this the 5 of Cups in reverse, with this card, I feel like in the past in your life, people have done a lot of things that have wronged you. Perhaps you've had clients that have wronged you, family members that have wronged you. Like people haven't been fair to you, and that's why you're in this imbalance. But I feel like you want to turn this the right way around, and you want to get back to that balance, and you want that fairness, and that's why you're in this High Priestess mode, and you're just focused on learning what you can do to prevent situations that you feel unbalanced, or situations that are not fair to you. And that's what I see for your year 3. So now moving on to year 5, for pile number 4. These are your cards. We have the Page of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. So let's start with this Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is about somebody who embodies truth, honesty, somebody who's not afraid to examine their beliefs, and logic is what dominates you. And it tells me that your mind is very analytical and very agile. So you're in this state of honesty, of truth. You're letting go of what doesn't work for you. You're bringing in what does work for you, and logic is what dominates you, which is good. Okay, then you have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles speaks about working, but in a very good way. Like this woman, she's playing the piano, and but she's happy. It's like her passion, and you can see like there's this big coin there, and that speaks about you working and making a lot of money doing what you love, which is a great thing to have. So in 5 years' time, you're going to be doing what you love, and you're going to be making a lot of money from it, and you're going to enjoy it. Okay? And then you got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So the Four of Pentacles in the upright position, you can see there's like this dragon or this creature that's holding onto a pentacle. And like they're holding tight onto this pentacle, and it shows like somebody who's very stingy with money, somebody who's holding onto your wealth, and you're like, you don't want to spend anything. But since it's in the reverse position, that tells me you're in the state of you don't mind spending money because you're making a lot of money, and you can afford to spend your money. You can afford to be generous with your money. You can afford to give charity. You can afford to buy what you want, to do what you want, to experience things, to go on holiday. You don't mind spending money because you have money to spend. All right, and then you got the Three of Wands in reverse. So in the upright position, the Three of Wands speaks about like exploring what you haven't explored before. It's about expanding your horizons and looking at situations in a different way. But you got it in reverse, so that's telling me like you don't feel the need to like go on this quest to expand your horizons because you're quite happy where you are. That doesn't mean that you're not learning and you're not expanding your horizons, because the Page of Swords is about learning. A little bit. It is a little bit about learning. So that's telling me like you are expanding your horizons, but in a very slow way. You're very comfortable. You're very you're comfortable where you are, and you're slowly learning and you're slowly moving forward, but you're very happy where you are. Okay, so let's get 2 oracle cards and see what advice or affirmations the universe or what it has for you. Okay, so let's see. So what advice do we have for pile number 4? What advice for pile number 4? What advice do we have for pile number 4? Okay. What advice do we have for pile number 4? Okay. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So this is telling me like throughout this 5-year journey, you just have to have faith in the universe, or faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in whatever you believe in, and know that your happiness in your career and in your life will be based on your faith. So you have to know that what you want will happen. Let's get one more card for you. Okay, an affirmation or a advice for pile number 4 regarding their career. Okay, I'll take both of these two because they both came out. Joy is the ultimate creator. Yeah, so this is just saying you need to be happy. Like I spoke about in, with the Justice card in reverse, how people have wronged you in your life, and people have done things to you that has not been fair, but through it all you have to be happy, because when you're in the state of happiness and the state of joy, that's what manifests your true desires. When I think I surrender more. So this is just like, it talks about having faith and surrendering to the universe. And it's a very good thing to surrender to the universe, because that's where the magic happens. So it speaks about don't feel that you need to control every situation. Just surrender, be happy, and have faith in the universe. Thank you, pile number 4. This was your reading. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.